I still remember the sound of the safe unlocking, a slow, heavy click that seemed to echo through the silence of our bedroom. My wife, Emma, stood beside it, her face painted with satisfaction. She'd finally cracked it. She turned to me, half smiling, expecting some sort of confession, maybe cash, maybe an old letter from a mistress. But the moment she looked inside, that smile froze. Then it fell apart completely. Inside wasn't money. It wasn't love letters. It was proof. Proof of everything she'd done. For months I'd felt it. That quiet shift between us. The way she'd started locking her phone, turning it upside down at dinner. How she began working late, even though her office closed at 6. At first I blamed myself, thought maybe I'd grown distant, boring. I started doing small things to bring the spark back. Cooking her favorite meals, leaving notes in her purse, planning weekend trips. She'd smile, but it never reached her eyes anymore. Then one night, while she was in the shower, her smartwatch lit up on the nightstand. I don't even know what made me look, instinct maybe. The message read, "Can't wait to see you again. Same hotel." My heart didn't break in that moment. It just stopped. Like everything around me turned silent and weightless. I didn't confront her right away. I didn't throw the watch or scream. I just stared at the message, reading it over and over, as if the words might change if I stared long enough. That night, I kissed her goodnight like nothing happened, but something in me had already started planning. Over the next few weeks, I collected everything: messages, photos, receipts. I tracked her car location through an app she didn't know I had access to. Every time she said she was at a meeting, she was at a hotel on Maple Street, room 207. The hardest part wasn't watching her lie. It was watching myself pretend I believed her. At dinner, she'd smile, ask about my day, complain about her boss. Sometimes she'd reach across the table to hold my hand, and I'd have to stop myself from pulling away. I'd always imagined betrayal as loud, yelling, slammed doors, tears. But it's not. It's quiet. It's like standing in a burning room while pretending everything's fine because you're too proud to admit you're on fire. I stored everything in the safe. All the evidence. The hotel bills, printed messages, a flash drive with photos. It wasn't revenge at first, it was protection. I needed to know I wasn't crazy. That it wasn't just in my head, like she'd said when I first asked about her late nights. 3 months later, she started getting curious. One night she asked, "Why do you keep that safe locked all the time? What's in there?" I shrugged. "Just some old documents." But I could see it in her eyes, suspicion. The irony of it almost made me laugh. She was the one cheating, yet somehow she thought I was the one hiding something. Then she started pushing. Subtle at first. "If we're honest with each other, there shouldn't be secrets. You trust me, right?" I played along. I even changed the subject a few times just to feed her curiosity. Because I knew, the moment she opened that safe, she'd see who the liar really was. Last night it finally happened. I came home late from work. The house was quiet, lights dimmed. But I heard the faint whirring of a drill from upstairs. When I entered the bedroom, there she was, sitting on the floor, sweaty, nervous, with the safe door wide open. Her hands trembled as she flipped through the papers inside. At first I thought she'd start shouting, maybe deny everything. But she didn't. She just stared, silent, pale, broken. There was a photo on top of the pile. Her in the hotel lobby, laughing with him. I took that picture myself from my car across the street. When she finally spoke, her voice cracked. You knew." "I've known for months," I said quietly. Tears welled in her eyes, but they weren't the kind that came from guilt. They were from fear. She'd been caught, and she knew there was no way out now. "I can explain," she whispered. I shook my head. "You already have. 100 times. Just not with words." She tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. There was a kind of cold calm in me. Not anger, not even sadness. Just emptiness. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said, crying now. "It was just. I felt unseen. You were always distant and—" "Don't," I interrupted. "Don't make this about me." Her face crumpled, and for a moment I almost pitied her. Almost. Then I told her what she hadn't noticed yet. "I sent copies of everything to your email. And to his wife." She froze. "You didn't." "I did." The silence that followed was heavier than anything I'd ever felt. She sank to the floor, hands over her face, sobbing quietly. I watched her for a moment then walked out. This morning she's been quiet. She's not crying anymore. Just staring. She knows her marriage with him is over before it even began. His wife sent me a message at dawn, just 2 words. Thank you. I didn't reply. When I walked past the safe earlier, it was still open. All the papers inside were scattered on the floor. Among them was one she hadn't noticed, a letter. My letter. It read, "If you're reading this, you finally found what you were looking for. You thought I was hiding secrets from you. But the truth is, you were the secret I had to protect myself from. You betrayed the man who would have done anything for you. And now you know what it feels like to be on the other side of a lie." I left the letter there on purpose. Not out of cruelty but closure. As I closed the bedroom door behind me, I realized something strange. I didn't hate her. I didn't even wish her pain. I just wished she'd loved me honestly, even if it meant leaving sooner. Because betrayal doesn't destroy love. It just reveals it was never real to begin with. And maybe that's what hurts the most. Knowing the safe wasn't just where I kept my secrets. It's where I buried my trust.